YouTube, it's Kathy, and I'm here to do the 52 Nifty Bookish questions tag. I was recently tagged to do this by Shawn the Book Maniac, so I'll link his video down below. Yes, this tag has 52 questions, and some of these questions have like either-ors that I don't know either of them, so I can't answer them, and then some of them I only know one of the two authors or whatever it is that's mentioned, so that will be a default answer. But I'm gonna try to go through these as quickly as possible. I haven't done any prep whatsoever besides watching Shawn's video. And Shawn did this as the tipsy edition. It is a little too early in the day for me to be having booze. I haven't even eaten yet, so instead, I suppose this is the tea edition. Number 1 is, what book are you reading right now? Currently I'm listening to the audiobook The Untold Story of Talking Books. This is an audiobook about audiobooks because I'm that type of nerd. 2 is, what is the last thing you highlighted? And I probably haven't highlighted anything since university, and I probably wouldn't have highlighted directly in a book. You know how sometimes in classes they'll like print out the short stories you're supposed to read instead of making you buy the whole collection? I probably would have highlighted something like that, but I don't highlight in books. Number 3 is, what do you plan to read next? And I have this TBR for Contemporary-a-thon, which by the time this tag goes up, I will have already completed, but I'm clearly filming this ahead of time. Number 4 is, one fiction writer, living or dead, with which you would like to grab a drink. Let's go with Jen Campbell. Jen Campbell seems like a lovely lass. I'm not entirely sure if she drinks, but we could have a coffee, we could have a tea. That's fine, you don't have to drink alcohol to grab a drink. Number 5 is, one non-fiction writer, living or dead, you would love to grab a drink with, and that, I believe, would have to be Mary Roach. Mary Roach writes hilarious non-fiction, and I would love to drink with her. Number 6 is, one poet, living or dead, with which you'd like to grab a drink. I don't read a lot of poetry, and I already mentioned Jen. This is terrible. Let's go with Amanda Lovelace. Number 7 is, one booktuber with which you'd like to grab a drink, and I can't do one. No, there's so many people I would love to grab a drink with. I mean, it's just a given that I would love to grab a drink with everyone I met at BookNet Fest because, well, we already drank together. I'd love to grab a drink with Adriana from Perpetual Pages, Cece from Problems of a Book Nerd, Jean from Bookish Thoughts. Like, there are just so many people that, given the chance, we should have a drink and talk about books. Here's the section where it's either or, so some of these I'm gonna have to skip, but let's see what we do. 8 is Emily Dickinson or Edgar Allan Poe. Edgar Allan Poe. 9 is Hemingway or Fitzgerald. Haven't read either of them. 10 is Jane Austen and Dickens. I tried to read Dickens, didn't get past the first page. Also, don't really like Jane Austen, so I abstain from this one. Number 11 is Harris or Hitchens. I don't know who these people are. 12 is Stephen King or Michael Crichton. Stephen King. 11 is Bret Easton Ellis or Chuck Palahniuk. Him. Fight Club. 14 is Kurt Vonnegut or John Green. John Green. 15 is Shakespeare's poems or plays. Plays. 16 is Adrian Fort or Dalton Gentry. Don't know who these people are. 17 is Cormac McCarthy or J.K. Rowling. I guess Rowling. 18 is Hannibal Lecter or Voldemort. Hannibal Lecter. 19 is T.C. Boyles or George Saunders. I DNF the only George Saunders I tried to read, and I don't know who T.C. Boyle is, so abstain. 12 is good writing or good story. Both. I have enjoyed books that don't really go anywhere plot-wise as long as I love the characters. Take from that what you will. 21 is YA or children's. YA. Irony or humor. Irony. Sci-fi or horror. Horror. Fantasy or nonfiction. Fantasy. 25 is rather find a new favorite contemporary writer or a new favorite old-time great. Contemporary for sure. We all know by this point that I don't like classics. Sonnet or haiku. Haiku. Sestina or villanelle. I don't know what either of those things mean. Spend an evening at a library or a bookstore. Library. Magazine or Wikipedia article. Wikipedia. Dictionary or encyclopedia. Dictionary. The writer I would want to write my biography. Mary Roach doesn't write biographies, otherwise I'd say her. Ooh, let's go with Erik Larson. 32 is I do or do not highlight my books. As previously discussed, I don't highlight my books. 33, I also don't write in my books. 34, earliest memory of a library. I spent a lot of my time in libraries. But the weird thing about me is I don't really remember anything before like age 10. So age 10, I definitely visited my local library a lot. 35 is last time you were in a library. Yesterday, because I work there. Have you ever stolen or accidentally stolen books from the library? No. 37, ballpark, how many books do you own? I think it's around 300. 38 is how many books do you think would make for a reasonable personal library? As many as you goddamn well want. 39 is, so there's Sense and Sensibilities and Sea Monsters, Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. How do you feel about this phenomenon? Zombies didn't make Pride and Prejudice any more appealing to me. I tried to read it, also DNF'd it. I like the idea of adding these fantastical things into classics, but I still don't like reading the classics. Number 40 is horror trope you would like to see get more love. I'm always a fan of the twists that happen in horror. You think it's going to be this one person and then there's a twist, and then if there's a further twist, that's what I prefer. I don't know what to call that trope, but we'll go with that. 41 is something you think gets underutilized in sci-fi. I think actually explaining the science, or what the science kind of looks like, gets underutilized now. But it depends. You have to walk a really fine line with that, because if you get too sciencey, the people like me who are not exactly science literate will get confused or skip parts, and then they might miss things that are important. Because obviously with science fiction, it's oftentimes things that we don't actually have and we won't actually have because science actually doesn't back it up. But putting more hypothesis, I suppose, into the science fiction, maybe? Number 42 is flash fiction, form of and format of literature, or it's just a short story dummy. I don't know what flash fiction is. 43, if you could own one book from all of history, what would it be? Let's go with the bibliophile cop-out answer of something from Alexandria. Number 44, audiobooks, same as reading? Yes, actually. Interestingly enough, I'm listening to that book right now all about audiobooks, and I was already pro audiobook. It's obviously the same thing as reading. It can be done in a passive way depending on how you read your audiobooks, and there has been this whole debate since audiobooks started about whether or not the person consuming them is doing the reading, because I can read a classic and get nothing out of it when I read it with my eyeballs because I don't understand what's going on, and I could read a classic as an audiobook and get more out of it because the inflection of the narrator or what for helps my brain figure out what the crap this author is trying to say. So just like how I could run my eyeballs over the text of a page and not really read it closely, I could do the same thing with audiobooks. But on the flip side, I can read a page closely and get a lot of it, and I can listen to something closely and get a lot out of it. So yes, audiobooks are reading. 45 is most literary songwriter of your time. I don't listen to a lot of music. So instead of actually answering this question, I'm going to tell you to go check out Joey Clarkson, who writes some very great music. I'll link her down below. And also a local band, West My Friend, because they're fantastic. I'll also link them down below. Number 46 is what writer embarrasses you the most because you haven't read them? I am not embarrassed by my reading choices. How about this? For this one, list some popular authors down below and I'll let you know whether or not I've read them. Number 47 is what writer embarrasses you the most because you've read too much of them? Again, not embarrassed by any of my reading choices. Number 48 is what is a biography you're looking forward to reading? Huh. Who's had a super interesting life that should have a biography that I should read? I mean, I've heard really good things about Michelle Obama's autobiography, so let's just go with that. I don't know when I'll get to it, but probably eventually. 49 is do you have a dream reading cubby? Basically anywhere that I'm surrounded by books and there's cozy things. I don't have like a Pinterest board of all of the aspects I need for that. I'm pretty easy to be content as long as I have a book and I'm cozy. 50 is last literary phenomenon that really got your gears grinding. I honestly don't really know what to say about this one. Does Soapdickgate count as a phenomenon? Because there was, you know, the fact that they were sending phallic soap to teenagers, but also the fact that they were basically selling fan fiction, which I understand is illegal, so let's go with that. 51 is what is the last piece of literature that changed the way you read? And I don't understand how to quantify this question, so I'm gonna skip it. And 52 is what booktuber have you been watching most recently? I watch a variety of people. Basically, I just go through my feed, and if I see somebody's video that I really want to watch, I watch it immediately. Obviously, because Contemporary-a-thon either in my timeline right now is just about to happen, or as you're watching this, has just finished. I've probably watched a lot of Mel to the Any, Chelsea Dolling Reads. My reading is odd and Pages and Pens. So let's just go with that, before I just start listing all of the booktubers, because follow a lot of them. And that's it. I made it through 52 questions, and I had answers for, I want to say, at least half of them. Thanks again to Shawn for tagging me. If you've watched this tag and haven't done this tag, consider yourself tagged. Yes, I'm lazy like that. What is the answer that surprised you the most? Let me know down in the comments below. On the way down to the comments, if you hit that subscribe button, that would be very nice of you. You can like and share this as you see fit, and I will see you very soon. Bye!